In the run-up to the next year's bull run, we'll be talking about a lot of cryptos that are small and medium size that have very low market cap today and that can give you a great return next year. And one such crypto is the VIDT DAO. This is something that a lot of you have been asking for, and here it is for all of you who've been asking for it. It has a very small 22 or close 23 million market cap. We'll talk about this crypto, very little known crypto, where it can head and so on. We'll try and answer 4 questions right now. What exactly is the VIDT? Why? What's great about it? What are the risks? And what is my price prediction for it? Let's get started. Right, so what is the VIDT? The VIDT is an ERC20 and a BEP20 token. Right now, if you go to their website, you can see that they are an ERC20 and a BEP20 token. Now, this is very good in my opinion because what they are doing is focusing on the problem that they want to solve rather than create their own blockchain. We've seen a lot of cryptos try and they're solving a different problem, but they also want to create a blockchain. You don't have to do that, right? There is Ethereum will take care of security and trust and all the aspects from that you want to take away from the blockchain. You can build your application on top of it, and if required, you can always transition to your own blockchain much later, much like what a Chainlink or a BAT did. So that is good about them. They want to make data and documents verifiable, right? They want to timestamp and prove that it existed. Right? Now, if you take a look at this, right, they're saying that VIDT DAO brings in trust into everyday process by making data and documents verifiable. Now, why exactly would you want to do that? It's a very simple process that they have where you have to hit their API and you timestamps and put your document on the blockchain. Right? A number of people are using it. It is very important because this is something that is a huge market. Buying regular Nike shoes versus buying Air Jordan, there's a very big difference. Right now, let's say you're buying regular Nike shoes, nobody cares about it, right? You might have an invoice from the store, but that's about it. But if you bought an Air Jordan, you might want to timestamp that you bought it with a document that verifies that you own it, because the value of Air Jordans only increase over a period of time, and provenance is very important to establish that. This is a very similar phenomenon in watches, for instance, right? We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. This process is great, right? Because today there are a lot of centralized authorities who get a great deal of revenue just for proving authenticity, for proving that a particular document existed at a particular time. And to get that whole database, you normally give it to some very trusted organization, right? It could be a bank, it could be government agencies and so on. Land records is one such very interesting place, right? Now, when you go and buy any piece of land, any piece of, like, maybe you bought a house or anything, you go to a government agency regardless of where you are in the world, and they timestamp it, and they your sale deed or your document that proves your ownership and the transaction that happened is sort of recorded in this government authorities servers. And anytime you want, you can go and check who are the historical owners of this particular piece of land or piece of property, and they get a great deal of money for doing that. But when it comes to little things like shoes, etc., nobody goes to that great of an extent unless it is very valuable art or watches. With DAO, you can actually do that for literally anything, right? Because the cost is so cheap. Where are the predominant use cases? You can have it in art, for instance. Now, not just the art sitting in probably museums in Europe and America, but everyday art, things that you and I probably paint. You can timestamp it for all, right? Watches, of course, a big market for this. In fact, VIDT DAO did partner with a company that does watch authentication. There's this very famous case study that they did. There's a video of it on their website, right? What they have essentially done is they took a Rolex from I believe the 1950s, and there are expert examiners who certified its authenticity, put together a document, pictures and so on, and that was time stamped on the VIDT DAO blockchain. Now, this is a brilliant process, right? Because right now you have a certificate authenticity with a timestamp on a blockchain, that too on the which is based on the Ethereum blockchain. It is proving that this particular watch was certified by experts and this is the owner, and when that passes on to someone else, you have provenance, right? You'll be amazed to know that proving the ownership of luxury timepiece is a market that is expected to be worth about $9.3 billion by 2025. This is an insanely big market, right? So VIDT DAO is actually going to make some, is entering into such markets. Then there are events, right? Your concerts, conferences, anything, right? Literally anything where you want to prove that you attended, you existed. Anything can be leveraged, anything can be made by leveraging the VIDT DAO API. The other thing that I really liked about them is a long list of partnerships that they have, right? If you go to their website, you'll see some very, very interesting names, including the likes of Airbus and so on. Right, so a lot of these companies have already partnered with VIDT DAO. Like I can see some big names like IBM and so on. All of these have partnered with VIDT DAO and they are using it, and that's pretty interesting, right? And also keep in mind that this is just a small crypto, 23 million market cap, and such partnerships already are in existence. So that's something great to look forward to. The other thing that I really liked about them is the fact that there is a limited dilution risk. If you check out their tokenomics, there is a 1 billion total supply, and of which 770 million already in circulation. So another 230 million to go, 23% to go. So limited dilution risk. There are very clear demand levers for these tokens, right? These are the VIDT DAO tokens are used for creating, verifying, and amending anything that is put on the blockchain. As simple as that, right? So there's very clear, and that's exactly what they're doing. This token is for using their service. Very simple, very straightforward. In addition to that, they have a robust governance process. They have moved completely into a DAO model. There is no centralized authority. There is no team. There is nobody, right? It's all completely into a DAO model, and that is something that I really like. Then, what are the risks? The first and probably only risk at this point of time that I could foresee is the fact that this is a Me Too product. It's too simple. This is literally the use case of any NFT. So a lot of projects can do this easily. Now it goes down to execution and who is able to get a significant market share, and they cannot be displaced in the future. That's all it ends up with. So whoever is able to do that first, they are the ones who will take the market, right? So winner take all kind of a market. What is my price prediction? Well, let's start with this. Right now, VIDT DAO today is approximately 23 million in market cap. We saw that. It's about 60% down from its all-time high. Right? It's a high-risk micro-cap crypto. Right? Remember that, because this is extremely high risk. It can go any direction. Social metrics for VIDT DAO looks good, right? And I'm looking at that because it drives adoption, and that in turn drives price. Especially for a crypto of this size, this driving adoption is very, very important. Right? Where have I looked at it? Well, I go to Luna Crush. I'm taking the last 3 months data, and if you look at the social engagement, social mentions numbers, you'll see that there has been a significant amount of mentions and social engagement in the last 3 months. About 82k social mentions, 153 million social engagements. The low for social engagements are about 31 or 32k. High is about 11.5 million a day. Right? This is pretty good. A lot of people talking about it. Now I cannot tell exactly whether these are people who are trying to just pump up the market or not, but I'll give you both the breakdown. First one is short term and the second one is long term. In the short term, right, we know the price today is about $0.03 or about 3 cents. In the short term, assuming that somebody does pump this crypto up, because it is one of those penny cryptos, it's so small. Assuming somebody does pump it up, we know that the first psychological barrier will be about $0.1, and then if that gets breached, then probably even $1. So you're looking at a 3 to 30x kind of a return, even if something like this happens in the short run. Assuming that it is, that's not the case. This is a legitimate rise in price because people are legitimately talking about it. Then, in the long run, I think they're operating in a 20 billion market. We saw how luxury watch authentication itself is a 9.3 billion market. There are many other use cases. I think at least a 20 billion kind of a market that VIDT DAO is operating in, and that means they have at least a 10 to 20x potential from here, right? You can expect the price anywhere to be $0.3 to about $0.6 in the near future. That's what I really think there, where this price can head in the long run. Having said that, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it, and welcome to the Wave Crypto Club. We'll keep talking about more such cryptos and more such in-depth analysis.